All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having another wonderful evening. We're doing 2 of the live watch lists here in a row. A lot of you liked it. You had a lot of questions. So today, we got to talk about all of the craziness that happened. One, you have Meta earnings blowing it out of the water and introducing a dividend, which is absolutely wild. If you bought it in the long term with us, you are now getting 2.9% back on your initial investment. But not only did you have Amazon or Meta, you had Amazon, there was Clorox, there was a bunch of plays, a lot of 2 standard deviation hits. You had the recovery after yesterday's Powell, and I'm telling you, there was a lot of wildness. And then on top of all of it, we have the non-farm payrolls tomorrow. So we're going to go over all of that. We got a lot of plays that we got to talk about. We're going to talk about what happened today and why the bond market traded how it did. And it was a real head scratcher, but it's tied to something bigger. And then I got the non-farm breakdowns ahead, and then we're going to be able to do a Q&A. So Chad, what I need from you, a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. Was it right here? This is the one, man. This is the one. This is what I'm talking about. YouTube.com/the stock market. It's live. And all these trades, the Meta, the Amazon, the Clorox, they are all done live for free $99. So I hope you see them there. If you're having any trouble pricing out the options, anything, even getting the earnings in the data as soon as it comes out, we have all of that for you. But don't let me get ahead of myself. This is a live watch list, so if you are watching the recap, it's going to be a little different here. I'm going to be interacting with the Chad. We're going to do a lot of Q&A afterwards. We're going to go over it, so hopefully you are subscribed with the bell so that you don't miss this. I try to make a post. Some of you guys fell behind on it. Have no fear, though. We are here right now. So with that being said, live people, yes, I love you. The recaps, y'all going to have to wait up a little bit. Y'all going to have to wait up because what's going on, baby? How you living? What's going on? How you doing, Mo? What up, Ram? What up, young blood? Look at Daniel Westerray, baby, in the chat, baby. Sipping on gin and gauze. Lay back with my mind on my meta and my meta on my mind. What up, Mick? How you doing, Brian? Good evening, Harrison. Yodi Sage, Mr. Perez, David Tello, Justin Cancel, baby. Brian Fierro. What's up, man? How you doing? What's going on? Young Early, McDonald, Dago, baby. Carlos, Francis, Antonio, Braxton, Daquan, JJ, J-Star, Ambry, Dago. Good morning, good evening, good night, baby. I'm so hyped. We have so much to talk about, man. There's a lot. What's going on, Jay? Jay Madala, baby. I hope you living good. So I hope you guys got your notepads. Again, we have a lot that we need to talk about because we got to go over what happened, and then we got to go over the plays, and then we got to go over what is happening tomorrow with the non-farms. That's the craziest part. No matter what happened today, we closed slightly above where we were at the tippy top of Powell after he described that he is confident, but the non-farms tomorrow could change everything. Even though our earnings plays look like they all hit tonight, that could all change by the morning, so we will see what is going on. But Chattadonia, get the notepads out. If you have questions, I'll be able to answer them. Try to keep them on topic. We're going to go over what we're looking for, what happened today, and then we'll talk about there. So get the notepads out. You need any clarification on anything, I got your back. But now, right off the bat, baby, let's talk about what really happened today. Although the earnings were hype and everybody's going to be focused on that tomorrow, and then we got to worry about what's going on with the whole non-farm payrolls, today the rate cuts did not get priced out. If you were here last night, we were talking about it, and we were going over it on the watch list. We were saying, okay, March is off the table. They got to start removing that. But if you saw what happened today, believe it or not, you actually had rate cut odds go up for March. This was an absolute mind-boggling reaction considering we had one of the worst days since September yesterday, and Powell explicitly took it off the table. Now, what really happened today, the culprit is the problems in bank world. So I don't know if you guys saw it, but It was NYCB. We talked about this one yesterday, too, towards the end. And yesterday, they said that their provision for credit losses, it went through the roof, and it was literally unexpected. They had a commercial loan, a commercial real estate loan in the United States, kind of go bust. It stopped making payments, and the stock cut their dividend, and they announced this provision for loan losses, and it dropped 45%. Now, this morning, there was a bunch of downgrades, and believe it or not, it was actually up in the morning. But then another bank in Japan today, they said they are also having problems with commercial loans in America. So this is why I think, and a lot of people talked about it today, this is why the bond rates and the whole short-term rate cuts, they did not go down because of the banking problems. It's simple. Literally, more regional bank problems equals faster rate cuts and easier policy, and this really got in the way today. So we're going to see if the bank problems come back, but I just explained that scenario to you because you have to understand, although it's bringing up a reminiscence of what happened last year, and think about it, why would the market start pricing in rate cuts? Why would the bonds get a bid off of this? You got to think about it. Last time, 1 year ago, that you had a banking problem, literally the Fed came out with a new Fed facility and the rates got lower and people started getting liquidity, and they interpreted that as a positive thing. It was very good for the bonds and easing up on policy. That's literally what happened today, and that got in the way of everything. So I still think we need to watch what happens. That's why tomorrow is going to be very important, because we're going to see if that non-farms gives any evidence towards what Powell said, if that has the ability to finally get us pricing things out. But now, if you were here yesterday, we had an in-depth discussion. Even today on stream, we talked about this one a lot, but it's very simple. Until the short end is totally pricing out rate cuts, the market is going to be in crackhead mode right now, because you are getting a bid on every single part of the bond curve, all the way down to the Fed futures, where people are starting to price in cuts. So whatever happens, problems with the bank, that is going to have a weird effect. But now, literally, we were talking about it today before the earnings. We were saying how, well, we'll see. We're barely up right now, and we'll see what the market ends up doing. But the earnings today, that was a mind blower. Literally, Apple, they didn't do as good, and they started going down. But I'm telling you, after Amazon killing it, Meta, the effect, and all of the sympathies, and even leading into the earnings now next week, this is going to keep things good for the most part. So we do have to watch if tomorrow ends up pricing out the data. But now let's talk about the main event, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the non-farm payrolls. So this is where it gets interesting, because you should know what is going to happen tomorrow. It is very simple. A good jobs report is going to be bad for the market, and a bad jobs number will also be bad for the market. We're going to talk about it, but here's the thing. The jobs number can miss or beat by about 50,000 jobs, and nobody is going to react. So if you were there for all the other non-farm payrolls, and we will be live tomorrow. I am going to be early, even though I'm doing a later stream here. But if you saw what happened last time, remember, last time was a surprise, and it left people scratching their heads. It's not as if last jobs report was good in the sense for the market. It actually came in stronger than expected. There was a lot of weird factors. Remember the unemployment rate that surprisingly ended up going down, or the participation rate, and that lifted up some of the employment, or it dropped it, and it was good, but the market only was negative for a little bit. Why? Because it wasn't that big of a difference. And then it's going to relate to what I'm going to tell you today. I will tell you right now, man, after what we got with Powell yesterday, I would be very cautious about shorting a strong jobs report. So the number you really got to be looking for is 100,000 above or below. So if we're not at like 280,000 jobs, I wouldn't think we're going to get a monster reaction, and vice versa. If we get a jobs number below 80,000, the market may take that negatively, but here's the deal. Like I'm telling you, bad jobs will be good. Good jobs number will be bad, but I'm telling you, the bond market, realistically, this is the only thing that matters, and sadly, no matter what happens, I think the bonds are going to win no matter what. So this is what we talked about yesterday. Why? Because what Powell said yesterday. Powell was asked about a strong jobs market, and he said he has no problem with it. There's no more of this, oh, the jobs market is too strong. It is not like a strong jobs market is getting in the way of the Fed's goal. Why? Because even though there was a strong jobs market, the inflation was able to come down quite rapidly. So in this case, if it is a strong jobs market, a strong number tomorrow, unless it's higher than like 300,000, and again, that would be like a little bit more than 100K above, I doubt that a strong jobs number will keep the bonds down. And then vice versa, if you get a weak jobs number, even if it's by a little or even if it's by a lot, I do think the market or the bonds at the very least will like it. And that's the thing I'm going to tell you about. That's what we care about more than anything tomorrow. We got one more day left in this whole 3-day window, and we're going to see how it plays out. No, we didn't go over meta yet, baby. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So at the end of the day, though, we want to see the main question, and the banking stuff got in the way today. We need to find out if we are going to be pricing out these rate cuts. So we'll find out how it plays out. I will talk about the TLT. We'll go over that again, too. So you got to wait a little bit here until the plays. But remember, there's a temporary window when all is said and done. So we'll see how it plays out. That'll be tomorrow morning. But I do think the answer, once again, will be in the bonds. Watch out for 100,000 both ways, and we'll see where we go from there. But Chattadonia, look, I'm glad that you brought that up, Lino. I got one more thing. I already wrote it out here. This one's just funny. This adds to all of it, bro. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, Jerome Powell has a 60 Minutes episode on Sunday night. LOL. Yes. So that's going to be the weird kicker to all of this. No matter how we end up tomorrow, how the market wants to take it. Yes. Yes, bro. I'm telling you, it's weird because, like, Janet Yellen has done this, and I think, like, other Fed chairs in the past, they've done this. But, like, legitimately, Sunday night, I believe, 4 p.m. Eastern, you are going to hear from Jerome Powell, but the markets are going to be closed. We're going to see how tomorrow goes, and it's going to be one of those, like, what's her name? Who's that lady, the old white lady with the blonde hair? What's her name? Not Martha Stewart. You know, what's her name? Jody? What's the lady's name? You know, the 2020 lady. It's like the 2020 or 60 Minutes, man. You know what I'm talking about? He's going to be like a sit-down interview, bro. It's going to be wild. So it will be pre-recorded. So by the time you get it, Barbara Walters. Yes. I don't know if she's going to be the one doing it, but in my head, I imagine Barbara Walters sitting down with Jerome Powell asking him, so are you going to cut because of the election? What do you think is going to happen? Nancy Pelosi, that'd be crazy, but yeah. So that's the only thing you got to keep in mind. But with all that being said, before I get into the plays, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions? Is there anything about what happened with the banks and affecting the rate cuts and the pricing out? Do you have any questions about what we're looking for tomorrow and why we should be aware of the non-farms, the bond reaction? Any questions on that? We have not talked about Facebook, Amazon, or anything like that. Do you have anything? Any questions from your notepad, baby? Let me know. Let me know. The banks dropped because New York Signature Community Bank, they had the problem yesterday, and then today there was another Japanese bank that had another problem with provision for loan losses and commercial real estate loans in the United States. Explain why you are bullish on bonds. I don't get why. So like we're talking about here, there's one thing yesterday I was bullish about the 3-day window, because usually since 2010 to 2023, all of the Fed meetings, 3 days, the day of and 2 days after the Fed, the bond market is usually bullish. Yields go down. And then on top of that, with what Powell said yesterday and how he was talking about even potential quantitative tightening, that is something that could help the bond market. And now coming into tomorrow, the fact of the matter is, the market and what Powell communicated, it supports the logic that the bonds will not be sensitive if the job market is too strong. However, if the job market is soft, the bonds are going to start reacting to that right away. And then on top of it, the cherry on top of all of it is that now with the bank failures or potential, everybody getting worried about Signature and all the other ones, that is leading people to start buying the bonds. So I think I'm bullish on the bonds till Monday. Tomorrow will pretty much be our last day, and then we'll see what Mr. Jerome Powell says. But hopefully that answers it. I am in the Pacific time zone. That's what it sounds like. Recession not canceled. Our bonds are not calling Powell's bluff. No. I think they're in their own little world. And the fact is that we talked about yesterday, the bonds on the long end, they moved ahead of the short end. So I am not bullish on the short end. I think the short end needs to go back up. I think the curve needs to invert a little bit. Short end of the curve goes higher. Long end goes lower, a.k.a. bullish on the long end, bearish on the short end. But that's why today it was quite perplexing because that banking stuff led it to where people started buying the short end and the long end. I think bonds will rally regardless tomorrow, but I will tell you when we get into the plays, you do have to be careful. Why? Because if the bonds move up too much pre-market, the move might be done by the first hour, just like you saw today. So we'll go over it when we get into the plays here, but I don't know if you saw it. Today, bonds absolutely killed it. They gapped up. They rocketed up, and then literally after 2 hours, you just started to fade. So if you kept trying to top tick the bonds, you actually got murked on them, and they came back up a little bit, but you don't want to get trapped at too high of a pace, and then they move after hours and all of that. So it's even though I'm thinking we still have more W's on the bonds there, I'm telling you, it's all very temporary, and it's not something where if it makes too big of a move off the non-farms or in the morning, or even if it gaps up too much, well, then there you go. It's going to be done more or less. So we will see. Apple calls, we'll talk about it when we get into the plays. Any questions about tomorrow, though, and the non-farms and anything else? Great question on the banks and the bonds. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, anything else? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If numbers are high, I think you'll have less of a positive reaction on the bonds. If numbers are low, though, I think it'll run. What I'm saying is that the bonds will most likely be immune to a strong jobs number tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. So it's not to say that jobs number it'll be good, but it's not gonna like you think you could hurt me. That's how I think it's gonna act like. Play on meta, we're already in it. We have the 3 standard deviation plays, and sadly those might hit. But if you did 2 standard deviations, that thing was absolutely money. But I think that's all for questions. You guys want the play, so now let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, play number 1 is meta. All right, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. It's already pinned right now at the 450s. This is already a 2 standard deviation move. So, like, legitimately, if you went and go priced it in, man, that tutorial, whether you want to copy the plays or you want to learn for yourself, man, some people have been hating on the 2 standard deviations, bro. This was money. They were pricing in $23. So if you double that up and got $43, the stock is literally up 60. So there's a good chance, even if the ones we had super far at the money, they'll still get a gain. But if you even went for the 2 standard deviations, I think it was like 440s, 450s, you just turned a very, very small amount of money into a large amount of money. So it was all 2 standard deviations, bro. That ended up hitting, and you're going to have a week of time on it. But yeah, you could have got the 450s. They were like 80 cents for the 455s. Even the 470s, these are the ones that were at 470 to 475. But these should have a pretty good day tomorrow. So we'll see how it plays out. But now as far as what I'm expecting, I do think there is a little bit of room tomorrow, but it really depends on the non-farms in the morning. This is what I kept saying right after the bell. We might get excited. It's looking very good. However, the non-farms could kill some of the premium. So I'm either going to look for another $10, $20 gap up by the time we wake up, even before the non-farms. Then it's going to start moving around, and it's either going to get pinned up at the level and not do anything for the rest of the day. So I think it might even get topped out around 470, and that's best case scenario. Otherwise, if it doesn't top out at 470, I think it's going to take off and start knocking at the door of 500. Now, here's the deal. I think it's a lot like Netflix. You got to realize they added a dividend. They are going crazy on the buybacks. They beat very comfortably. I have the numbers all here for you, and I'll go over them, but it's a lot like Netflix. They're going to be in their own little world. They're providing a whole new set of value, but just because I think it's going to be knocking at the door of 500, that does not mean that it's going to do it tomorrow. And that's how you're going to get killed. Let's be real about it. You know what I'm saying? You wake up tomorrow and you're going to try to go for the metas just like the Netflixes. And guess what? The Netflixes actually hit the day after and we Ghetto spreaded them, but it's very simple. This could take a couple of days, maybe even a couple of weeks, but at the end of the day, Meta is already in its own little world. So, yeah, Netflix had been there before, and that's what kind of gives this a little bit more of upside because now it's going to go into discovery mode. So, I'm looking for a gap up. I'm looking for like 470, then stay pinned. And if it doesn't stay pinned, though, I think it's going to be very excited. So, we have the 475s. We bought those plays for 50 cents. I know the plays were expensive. I went 3 standard deviations to save money. We only went on the call side, so I'm very glad that we have those, and I'm just going to ride that out. We have till next week. If you're in any of those plays, you have nothing to worry about because the hard part is already done. All of those premiums are going to go crazy tomorrow because Meta, one of the biggest stocks in the world, it has already moved more than 2 standard deviations now. So what you got to do now is decide, do you want to take profits in the morning or are you going to Ghetto spread? That's it. If you ride it naked all the way, you do what you need to do on that. Otherwise, you Ghetto spread it right in the morning. That's it. You wait, give it either 10 minutes or 30 minutes, an hour. And again, it all depends on what happens with the non-farm. But if you're even at the 450s, you could sell some of these, leave you a little bit of upside, and just go from there. If you're worried and this play is going to make up a lot of money for you, simple. Just Ghetto spread it. Go get all your money back, leave a little bit of upside. Otherwise, the hard part is done. All we do is ride it out. And if you got it in the long term... No, we did not buy any puts on Meta. I only went with the call. So I went early. If you remember, I went early on these 475s. I bought these at 50 cents. They went up to $1. And then I was going to Ghetto spread them. I'm kind of happy I didn't now. And then it fell yesterday. And then we could have scooped them up for real cheap today. And I just said, I'll hold that one right through. And then we'll go from there. And then now this is the one that we're holding. So this one should be good. Again, depending on where a lot of these plays open up, that will be good. So the Ghetto spread is you short the option. So if you have if you bought the 2 standard deviations, you bought the 480s to the 460s, if it opens up, let's say at 470, it'll be $10 in the money. You could sell the 490s for a couple of $100, get a profit back if you only spent 30, 40, 50 cents, and then you'll be able to have some upside. So I have a tutorial. Go look up how we turned $500 into $40,000. That will explain all of it. So that one was a beauty of a play. We're going to see what happens. But again, although we're excited about it, a lot is riding. And I don't know, do you guys want the numbers for it? If you're not aware, Meta, they had revenue of $18.59 billion. Versus 18.82, daily active users 205 versus 203, monthly active users 272 versus 271, engagement 75.4 versus 74.8, expectations, average revenue per user 68.44 versus 66, revenue came in Europe 9.4 versus 9.29, revenue in Asia Pacific 7.5 versus 7.3, and then they absolutely just killed it on everything, bro. It was a very comfortable beat. They did raise their guidance, their capital expenditures by $3 billion, but then they also lowered them by $3 billion. So people aren't worried about it, and we listened to the conference call. Homeboy did not sound like the recent Mark Zuckerberg. I'm telling you, the way he was talking, he just hammered home AI, and he did not go crazy on any of the damn headset stuff. They did say it was the #1 on the App Store and all of that, but it was a very good earnings. And then again, it is their maiden dividend. The first ever dividend in their entire history has now been announced on Meta. It is a new era for the stock. So we'll see the upgrades. We'll see how everybody reacts tomorrow. But that was amazing. And shout out to the long term. But that is play #1. Then play #2. Believe it or not, we did an Amazon play today as well. So again, we had Amazon. We did Abivi, but we went for the Amazons, and that one is actually very close to the money now, too, so we might get lucky, and that one was cheap. We only spent $38. I went a little further than 2 standard deviations to save money. If you went to 2 standard deviations, though, on Amazon, you should be right at the money. And again, these are the biggest stocks in the world. That's the best part about all of them. They have them, but guess what? That's not play #2, bro. Oh, yeah, we're live, baby. I'm going to answer questions afterwards. We could go over anything you missed, baby. Oh, yeah. Play number 2 is Clorox, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yes, bro. Yes, Clorox. Dude, this was the most impressive beat of the day, I think. Meta was probably the best. But, dude, Clorox, it's clean, baby. And you know what I learned? This is going to blow your mind. Did you guys know that Clorox makes Burt's Bees chapstick? Isn't that weird? It blew my mind. They literally make Burt's Bees chapstick. I know. I was looking over their earnings. I was so impressed with it. Yes, they make Burt's Bees. It's owned by Clorox. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Burt's Bees. You'd be putting Clorox on your lips. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Yes, that blew my mind. But Clorox, bro, this was a very impressive beat. I'm telling you, they beat like expectations for growth. We're at like 6.6%, and they came in at 20% all across the board. I'm telling you, it was a nutty beat. And then on top of it, they raised their guidance on the full year by a full $1 per share on EPS. They got clapped on a couple of their last earnings, and they were barely pricing anything in. So here's the deal with Clorox. If this one doesn't sell off, if it sells off a little bit in the morning, this may be a very good post-earnings. Now, don't underestimate Meta and Amazon. Those could be great post-earnings, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on those in the morning. But I'm telling you, bro, Clorox was crazy, and again, this was one that we did 2 standard deviations on. So we actually got the 165 calls for 24 cents. I believe right now they are sitting at at 160, and this one again. So if you took it, the pricing was like $7.50. I think it was like $14 or $15 both ways. Where were they at close? 148. So it would have been like 150. It was like 162. I think I ended up going a little cheaper. I just wanted to save money again, so I didn't go too crazy. But I think the 162s, are these the ones we got? Which ones did we grab? Or did I grab? Did I grab the 162? So maybe I did keep it. I kept it clean there. Yeah, no, I got the 165s. So the 162s, though, those should have been 2 standard deviations, but this one's going to hit, but it kind of reminds me of IBM. So that's what I'm saying. Depending on how it opens up tomorrow, watch a lot of these further out the money ones. And let me show you the Clorox chart because, again, their last earnings, if we go over their earnings preview, they were doing very good, and then they got clapped. But pretty much their last gap up when they really started dying at these levels, I'm aiming for like 165 to 170 on this. So we only have a week, and you got to be careful on some of them. But let me get up that chart of what they did. But this one, keep in mind IBM. I'm going to be looking at that. That's CVX. Where is Clorox? Clorox. Yeah, so their last moves, they were all gained 7, 9, 5, and 10. So I think right now they're sitting at like 8 or 9%. They haven't really moved too much beyond that. But, again, they were only pricing in 5, and they are leading already. So that one's going to make it a little bit more interesting. But that's the second one. That is play number 2. I would definitely keep your eyes out for that. And then finally, play number 3, baby, TLT. So, again, I like this till tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. Things can change by Monday, but what I'm going to be looking for is what I called out today. Watch when the data comes out. The bonds may get a knee-jerk reaction on the dip, and then that, if they start to go back up, that's going to be the play you want. But like I was telling you earlier, what you have to watch out for is is just simple. You got to be careful that it doesn't do this. If it gaps up too much and then it runs up, the move may only last for a little bit. Here's the deal. The higher the play is in the morning, then the less likely you're going to get a play intraday. Are you following? So the lower the bonds are in the morning, the higher the chance for an intraday move. However, if that shit ends up going up a lot, then yeah, that's not going to be a good sign. But like I'm telling you, this play, I think it's going to be immune to a strong jobs number tomorrow. It'll benefit off of a weak jobs number, and then you still have history on your side. And then if these bank problems keep getting wild, I think a lot of people are going to eat that up. So keep your eyes out for that. Those are the main plays. As far as everything else, we did do a couple. So we have Abivi for the morning. I think they're at a breakout level. That one should be a little bit fun. And then Bristol Myers, we also made that play. MHCP, that was another one after hours. I don't think that one ended up hitting. Or is it MCHP? MCHP. Yeah, I was down like 3, but they ended up cucking. We're not going to make money on that. And then we also did Skechers. So believe it or not, the Skechers, I did that one in the morning. That one might hit. They guided low. It was almost in the money at one point, and then it did the first 5 bounce. So we'll see what happens. I still got the AXP tomorrow. That one expires. It fell out the money, so it went down from like $2 to 45 cents. So that's the problem with day of expiration. We should have held the Procter & Gamble, but that one was a crazy beat if you're still holding it. And besides that, man, we're going to ride these Metas and Amazons home. We'll see what other things happen and Clorox, but we have a lot of good opportunities. Like I said, non-farms tomorrow. That could change everything, but for now, we might have 4 plays on 2 standard deviation watch that we're already in, and it should be very exciting. But Chad, that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure to post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. We're going to be live because of the non-farms. And I love you, recap people. But now it's time for the live people. What do you got for me, baby? What do you got for me? What questions do you have now? All that said and done. What do you have? What do you have? We're still here. We got a little bit of time. What do you have for me, man? What do you have for me? What do you have? How am I doing? I'm doing great, man. I feel good. I feel good. I feel great. I feel blessed. You know what I'm saying? Can't complain. How does Clorox own Hidden Valley? Dude, this is why they own Burt's Bees, too. Start about Meta in the long term. I'm saying we own it in the long term. Again, I don't get it. We grabbed Meta at $91. So if you were here or if you have the free long-term alerts, first link in the description, baby. It hasn't even updated, but like, dude, we bought this shit at it was at 92? Oh, I guess 93. I thought we bought it at 91. We bought it at $93. But like a lot of people today were telling me they sold it. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, man, in the long term, this thing is beautiful. Because now one small deposit, this thing could end up being one of the bigger positions. It's going to be worth like $9,000 now off of a very small one. You're going to be getting a dividend and collecting. So it's like, dude, I'm just holding it. I love it in the long term. The value add is unreal. And I think over time, no matter what, you're just protected by your price. So I think it'll be another 5-10 years maybe before it actually goes down to that price again if it ever has anything negative. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm going to be riding that out, and I think it's great. I think it is a great one, man. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. But like I'm saying, I am looking for a little baby gap up. It depends on analysts. But again, we do have something very weird, and it has to do with the non-farm payrolls tomorrow. That could upset everything. I don't know if gold will follow TLT, but if the dollar keeps dropping, the higher bonds start going up, then it's going to start bringing the dollar down. Are y'all with me? So if TLT keeps rocketing, it is going to hurt the dollar, and that's going to free up some room for gold. However, the same like fundamental background right now of like what should make gold go up, the same fundamentals that are driving bonds up, I don't think they exist in gold right now. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant towards gold. So gold is going to benefit off of the dollar going down, but I'm not really a big fan of I'm not a big fan of going after gold. Quite frankly, I think the bonds are a little bit better. You know? Any theories for HYG, junk, and LQD? Not really. If anything, I'm more focused 2 years, 10-year bonds, the yield curve. I do think that is probably the most important thing right now. And again, if you want to get into high yield, a lot of people, I'll tell you this, once we get close to rate cuts, maybe you could start going after high yield. But in a world where bank fears are coming back, I'd be a little careful with some of those more or less. With these highs, do you see any good long terms? I see a lot of good long terms. I'm telling you, Pfizer, 3M, again, and they're shitty names in the sense that they're out of favor. And I'll tell you, eventually when the market stops rocketing up, you're going to understand why I'm talking about these companies, because they will find their way to go back. Again, just like Meta, if you haven't noticed, man, I don't like buying companies when they are low. Again, we even talked about it today. When we were buying JP Morgan, that thing was at 116 and nobody wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Procter & Gamble, that was a good one we kept talking about, but it already kind of took off there. So, but there's a lot of names out there that are value. So I'm just going for the value names, and I think go after there. Yeah, UPS is a great one. That's another one that got bought up. So I want the value plays, and I'm very patient. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very simple. Yeah, it sucks when you have to watch all the mega cap stocks rip, and then you look at your portfolio, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to be like, oh man, it's all going crazy. Oh man, my shit's not going up. But it's just like when the market does calm down, those are going to be the plays that rally. And then again, if they have their own individual good news, they're going to be able to come back up. You just got to make sure it is an age-old name that's making, billions of dollars and isn't really threatened too much by debt. And that's the thing. Again, even Airbnb, that's one that came up, but that's a growth stock. I wouldn't be buying it right now. But hopefully that makes sense. So I do think there's a lot of good out there. A lot of good out there. Yeah, let it cook, baby. Time is your best friend. For real, though. For real. You put too much into Pfizer. Well, there's still some growth names out there. Again, PayPal. It sucks Disney. We're up like 9% on Disney, I think. So, but there's still a couple of growth names out there. Again, you could pick and choose and find a couple ones. Yeah, we lie, baby. Is there any small caps? I like Archer. I like Archer Daniels. I don't like no flying car shit. But no, I'd go with Archer Daniels after their little CFO mishap. But no, I'm not really. The only small cap I have is MPW and Redfin. So Redfin and MPW are the smallest in my portfolio. My portfolio is actually weighted towards big cap stocks. So I think they're on Fidelity. It shows like a little like breakdown of like what we're holding, and most of the names I have are like comparable to the Dow, believe it or not. So, but yeah, I'm not a big fan. Yeah, I'm down 50% on MPW. And again, I mean, sure enough, the one that's the small cap is, of course, the one that is absolutely destroying. But then again, too, with enough time, I think it'll be good unless they totally go absolutely BK, or we have another issue. Where is it? Will the Meta news affect Divi stocks? Not too much, but I do think Meta is entering in a whole new world filled with dividends and lizards. No one to tell us reality or the metaverse. Now I'm in a whole new world with Mark. So some funds might even be able to buy it now. That's like the craziest part about all of it. Yeah, where is it? So this is the account. This is how it looks. So you do a little stock analysis. It says like, again, I'm leaning more towards long and kind of value, and then like a blend, but I actually have less growth. And then you could see I'm more weighted to large cap Dow stocks than anything else. So I'm again, I don't have a S&P, I don't have 500 companies. I'm less diversified than that, but the mega cap companies are going to protect you when it's all said and done. That's why this portfolio, and then again, anything that's done bad, it's either risky growth or small caps. Let's be real. Go look at your own portfolio. I doubt anybody really has a long-term killing it off of any small cap or minor cap names. But again, that the beauty is, like I'm saying, even MPW, anything like that, we have these names already built out. So again, if I get smaller growth names that end up coming back, awesome. Smaller caps come back, but it's like I have other stuff that are just doing the work for us. So that is the better idea there, and that's what I'd be looking for building out the long term, regardless of what's going on right now. Good risky growth names. PayPal. I think that's the only one that's still down. I like DraftKings, but that one's still, it's kind of moved up a lot. So there's a couple of names there, but I really like PayPal. That's the only real one that comes to my mind right now. And then even then, though, like some of these names out there, like UPS is like low-key a growth stock, as weird as that may sound. It pays a 4% dividend. Even Nike, yeah. Even kind of Starbucks. There's some of these like bulletproof big names that they pay a dividend. They're slow movers, but they're off 40% from some of their short-term highs. Not even off their all-time highs, but like, do you know what I'm saying? Like some of like literally UPS, if they rebound in the next year or two, you could go up 40%. Nike was at 160, 170. If it's at $100 right now, that thing could go up another 40%. Wow, you get it reminds me of JP Morgan. right? You know, when we bought JP Morgan, we were yielding 4.5%. It was kind of a slow mover, but JP Morgan was well off of its highs. And then sure enough, it came right back up there. We made 40% on that. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, just make sure you're not paying too much premium and make sure it's a solid ass name that has been around making billions of dollars and is part of the cabal. What? What'd you just say? You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, get something good in there. Get something good in there. I love Nike, Starbucks, only thing I bought. Yeah, and regardless, whether it underperforms, outperforms, it's like I'm always going to like that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be good. Would leaps on risky growth? No, leaps are going to scam you. That's it. I'd rather put literally, like, bro, our Meta investment, we only put in like $1,800 and it turned into $9,000. Leaps would have done great for you on that too, but eventually they would have tapped out. If anything goes wrong, anything goes slow, just the point is don't put Leaps in the long term. If you want to go grab Leaps on a trading account and balance it out, I'm totally for that. Do whatever you need to. But again, if you really keep in mind long term, you see how fast things can change and what things can do. I would just go put a small amount in the long term, bro. $500, $1,000 in the long term, even if it's a shitty play, if you're already built out, dude, let it do its thing and it sits there. Worst case scenario, you never buy it again. Best case scenario, it takes a couple of years, it comes into fruition, and now something small turns into something big, and then you're able to work it around with all your other ones. Baba has a lot of growth. Yeah, that's another one too. But Baba's extremely risky. I added Baba. I like Baba. I don't think Baba's going anywhere, but that one's definitely not as, you know, if you are more prone to like vomiting when you watch your portfolio go down, I'd watch out for Baba. But I do like it. Would I build Tesla? No, I wouldn't. I don't like Tesla. Dude, I'm about to piss people off. You want me to tell you now, or should I just piss everybody off live tomorrow? Oh, you don't want me to do it. Do I have any closet Tesla supporters in here? I like Elon, dude. I don't really even hate on it. What I'm about to tell you, bro. Oh no. Y'all need to like the video. I can't risk it. Let me get some like 300 likes on the watch list, bro. Come on, bro. No, I'm not even gonna piss you off with the price. I'm gonna just tell you reality. I'm gonna tell you reality right now. Y'all need to hit that like button, bro. There's 600 of y'all in here. Come on, baby. I know you doing stuff right now. You out and about in the house. Some of you driving. There you go. Hit that like button, baby. Come on, just 5 more likes. I need 5 more people. You're watching a live watch list right now. You got to hit that like button, baby. You got to hit that like button. Just 5 more beautiful souls. That's all we're looking for, baby. That's all we're looking for. Are you ready? Bro, after Meta's earnings, I really believe Tesla is a piece of shit. Not really, but like, dude, Elon, fuck him. Excuse my language. I don't really cuss on these. You know why? Bro, that's insane. The valuation of Tesla, and then now, bro, you mean to tell me Mark Zuckerberg burned all of that money and is now giving money back to shareholders and increasing the value and doing all of that stuff. And then you got Elon Musk crying about not getting $50 billion, wanting to dilute more, and then dumping way more in that stock than Mark Zuckerberg ever has. And so I take Mark Zuckerberg in the fight and as just like running that company, bro, it's just different, bro. That's all. So I'll buy Tesla at $20. You know what I'm saying? It has to do what Meta did. It has to go to a dirt. Because, again, bro, we bought Meta. It was like a 10 PE. You've really had mother effers trade Meta to a 10 PE. And then but then again, you saw in 1 year, you know, Zuckerberg, they turned it around. But like I'm saying, bro, he is returning money back to shareholders now. And he is now taking care of all of his early investors. And let alone anybody who invested in at the low. If you bought in at 90 and you're getting a 2.9% dividend, that's insane, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. So yeah, I don't know. Tesla, I'm really not like I'm not gonna touch that. No way. Especially after seeing Mark Zuckerberg and what's going on with Meta, unless he takes cues from Mark Zuckerberg and they turn it around like that. And, maybe when Elon gives to shareholders instead of dilutes or dumps, then I'm down to get in. But other than that, I still like Elon. I still think he's good for humanity and we need him. But as far as running a company and using that at the right way, nah, bro. Nah, bro. He's doing it, man. He's doing it, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't think Tesla's over, but it's a different, dude, that like compared to Meta and taking care of shareholders does. So again, if I say this tomorrow, people are going to get pissed. But I think it's very true, bro. I'm just saying, as someone who's owned Mark, Mark has worried me at times. And, I invested back in like 2012, bro. And you know what I'm saying? But it's good to see this now. It's good to get a reward. And it's like, bro, just the way they've turned it around, the cash flow, the free cash flow, everything, bro. And it's just like, it's beautiful. It's one thing to buy back shares. It's another to give a dividend at the same time, to, fumble the bag, stop spending money, and then start being on kind of the forefront and kind of innovating. And now, Mark Zuckerberg's just playing Wall Street. He's giving them AI. He's feeding them AI, bro. Like they want TikTokers. Like, dude, that conference call was beautiful. So I'm very, very impressed with Zucker Lizard. Okay, I'm still going to clown on him, though. And again, I do like Elon still, too, but it's just a different degree, bro. It's a different degree, man. It's a different degree. So, amen, bro. Amen. Yeah, they killed Zuck. Yeah, bro, everything. They clowned Zuck for a dude, but he did good, bro. He execute. I believe that mother effer when he's like, I'm playing to win. You don't believe it because he nerdy as hell. I'm playing to win. You know what I'm saying? But like, nah, bro. He playing to win, baby. I got you, Mark. I'll be the hype man. I got you, bro. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, any other questions, though? Any other questions? You tell me, bro. You tell me, bro. Any other questions here for the night? We've gone through a lot. Again, God willing, we got a lot of plays to deal with tomorrow. So we'll see. Anything else? Anything else? Tencent got new games. Was that lately? I remember that was a couple of days ago. They got rid of draft rules. I want to see that Pal World game if Tencent gets a stake in it. Every morning, every evening. Hey, man, it's an honor, bro. Look at the chads, bro. And there's a lot of blessings, bro. I'm glad to see the long term. I'm glad to see even some of these plays, man. And again, y'all learning on stuff, bro. And it's good. It's a good way to spend my time, bro. I love it, man. And the philo. Don't even get me started. Anything you could take from M1 and M2? You can and you can't. It feels like as of lately, though, a lot of things have kind of like fell behind and everything seems lagged. But it used to be, money supply and how inflation and other things, you could make some direct connections. But, ever since the pandemic and then didn't they stop reporting one of them? It just, things have been very weird on that data front. It's kind of like the dollar. Like I'm saying, the Fed used to report every dollar weighted index. And ever since 2020, they don't do that anymore. So it's kind of unfortunate. Kind of unfortunate. Love Tencent. I like Baba. I know Baba. Baba keeps me safe while taking the risk in China. But a lot of people still hate China. They really, really do. And big commerce, no, I want to average down. I'll just let it sit there. Like I said, we've taken some growth names that don't really work. And then, like Coinbase, if it comes back, hell yeah. DraftKings, if it comes back, awesome. But I think our money is better spent on higher quality names right now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of averaging down on big commerce, yeah, if it does bounce, you'll make a lot more money. But I would rather go grab Pfizer. I would rather go grab UPS. I'd rather go get even Alibaba, where at least these are companies in the forefront of industry, top 100 companies in the world, making billions of dollars, and now you're buying them at multi-year lows. Again, any name that is a big name that we bought at multi-year lows in the past, a lot of them have rocketed up. And those are and we're so grateful that we have those in the portfolio. You know what I'm saying? I never had Snow. I had Snow like free shares, I believe, but I think I got out of those. PayPal. I like PayPal. I do like PayPal. I like PayPal for growth. Again, we're up on it slightly, depending on the earnings. We'll see, but that is like, I'm really liking a lot of value plays, and I want to increase dividends this year. But at the end of the day, PayPal is like one of the only like pure growth names that I really like right there. I sold out of future bond. I sold out of my ZB today, and I'm holding the bond futures. Oh, I forgot to say that. Yeah, I got like $2,000 off of that. I sold out a little early, and then my futures went up, and those protected me. I was gonna double dip, but I'm gonna wait till the data dip tomorrow. Yeah, I got PayPal at 61, I believe, even like 61.90. So I even bought it like a little higher. Oh no, 62.90. Fuck me. So I'm still like break even down on it. But I do like PayPal. That's like the only pure growth one. I'm waiting for deposits, but then again, I keep buying Pfizer because Pfizer, like I'm saying, it has both the growth and the dividend. But PayPal, I think, is pure growth play, multi-year lows again, and it's just not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just like when everyone thought Facebook was going to fail, PayPal's not going anywhere. So I like it. I like it. When do you think Pfizer will pop? You're not going to like my answer eventually. You know, so it's like I don't really care about it too much. Like I'm saying, for the long term, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Like, I mean, you know, we had to hold even Meta, we only had to hold for a couple of months, but like JP Morgan, bro, we had to hold JP Morgan for like a solid year and a half, almost 2 years before it popped. But when it did, it you know, it did what it needed to do. Again, we had to buy it, kept going down. We got some at like 116, and it took time to work its way up, but I do think eventually. So that's why I'm saying, you know, just I'm balancing out. If it's higher or lower, I'm using that to make my purchases with my deposits, balancing it out with other names, and then just going from there. I do not like XOM just because I don't like energy. So, and it's kind of high. It's not at multi-year lows. Best way to Ghetto spread is sell an option that makes sure gets you a return you want, right? So when you short the option, make sure you're getting an option back that is worth an amount you're happy walking away with minimum, and then just try to leave yourself the most upside. The best ideal situation on the Ghetto spread is if you could walk away with a high upside as well as a lot of money up front. If you could get like 500 to 1,000% up front and then still leave yourself money on the back end, oh, you're going to be good to go. You sound so happy. I always sound happy at night, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. That's good. Zuckerberg, nah, man. I can't get too happy. My man made me a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it's like y'all weren't there. You didn't see the days where he was fucking me. You have no idea, bro. You have no idea. So it's good though. But in general, man, I'm more gassed up off the philo, bro. You know, and I love it, man. God is good, bro. Finger to the sky. You have no idea, bro. He was fucked up, bro. $80 billion here, $80 billion there. Yeah, we kept the Meta call. So that one's probably going to hit for us. And again, I was outside of 2 standard deviations, but if you did the 2 standard deviation, the strike prices we called out today, those would have fucking hit. They would have hit. They would be in the money right now, literally, by a couple of dollars. So I think you would have had like 4. It would have been like minimum 80 cents to $500 minimum. And then any of the other ones, we'll see what happens. I buy Tesla at like $20, $25. Boeing, I don't really like for the long term. No. Nike calls. It could be good because they just got clobbered off the Adidas stuff, so that could be a good one. But I don't. But then again, I like Disney, but we're up on that. We're up a decent amount. I like Disney for the long term. I even have a Disney call for earnings. We're up 100% on it, but we went early. What was the call earlier? What do you mean? You hate Tesla 2 standard deviation on what? I don't hate Tesla. I just don't. It's just overvalued. And then now you compare me to what's it called? Like you have to compare Tesla to Mark Zuckerberg now. It's just like, dude, one of them is just like I don't know, man. That's like a bad girlfriend versus a good girlfriend. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this, like Mark Zuckerberg cook for you. He clean. He understands you. Maybe it's getting a little weird, but I can't describe, bro. I'm just telling you, like, bro, Tesla is toxic as hell, and I couldn't do it. That's what I'm saying already. Tesla's hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Tesla be looking fine sometimes, but that thing way too tight, and it's like Meta pretty sexy too. All right, maybe I'm getting a little too weird. I don't want to make any of you uncomfortable. But I think, does that make sense though? Like it's just too different. That's why I'm like, you know, if you're gonna buy something overvalued, man, I feel like you could get something else. You could get something else, man. You could get something else. AMD. I like it, but that one's up a lot. You know, eventually I wish I bought it at 80. Same thing with Nvidia. That was the last. That was the fine. Nvidia and Amazon. I was right about to buy them after the metas, but I fumbled on those. What, you know, wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be. If you never get a second chance, then that ain't meant to happen. Those Apple Googles. I still have my Tesla. Yeah, Tesla car's cool. It's a cool iPod. So we'll see, man. I have a Cisco put. Yeah, we talked about that one. Yes, I don't know what it did today. Actually, it actually held up. That one's up like 200%. I think, just under 200%. So we just got lucky on that. I went early on earnings, and then the bad. What was it like? Evervance or something? Something in Europe got clapped. Coke and KO. I like KO better. Coke is the like bottling plant, right? Yeah, you bought both and then they went up and you sold. Yeah, be careful, bro. I'm telling you. I don't know why, man. It's just like even today, bro. I even told people not to do it, but I've a lot of people selling out of the long term, and they're not even like. It's one thing to sell out of your long term, and listen, man, no shame, bro. I don't say this to make you feel guilty. You know, that's word to the philo. Don't feel guilty. I'm just talking from experience. You know what I'm saying? So just like for real, at the end of the day, it's just like use it as a learning lesson in the future. When you put that thing in the long term, cut your hands off. Don't allow yourself to sell, because it's one thing to sell when the thing is going down, but it's another thing to sell when it's going up. And that's that one thing, because again, those are the things that when they really ramp up and go crazy, that's how stupid money is made. You know what I'm saying? You never know. And on paper money goes insane. So just when it's all said and done, man, just the long term, hopefully you learn from that and you'll have another chance at other stuff. So don't even trip, but don't go into a position that you're uncomfortable with and hold, and you'll be good to go. Like GME, not like GME, because GME is not like a long-term play. You know what I'm saying? Like you're buying a damn brick and mortar video game store, you know? But if you wanted to put it in the long term, I'd hold it in there. But it's just like some of these names, bro, there was really good names that people bought at super low prices, and then they went up, and then they sold out of them. So it doesn't, I'm not talking about puts. I'm not talking about trades, and I'm not talking about small caps. I'm talking about long-term, solid-ass plays. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But like I'm saying, learn from this. You know, don't feel bad about it. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, but I do hope they are learning experiences. And like, if you have no reason to sell, and it's just because you think it is too high, don't do it. Please don't do it. And one of us go in, then we all go through it. You know what I'm saying? I hope you feel me, man. I hope you see me. Amen, man. Amen. So, yeah, man, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Life will continue. But, Chad, any final questions? Any final questions? Amazon, we have the 180 plays and the 190s. Yeah, again, I went further than 2 standard deviations, but I do think 2 standard deviations hit. And like I was telling you, Amazon, why I like that one today, because that was pricing in only 5%. So they were pricing in, what, $9? So literally 170 would have been 2 standard deviations. So the 170s, that's February 16th. They were 210, no. So I guess I went for the 180s because they were cheaper. Should have been $10. Oh, no, $20, excuse me. So yeah, 180 would have been the standard deviation, 2 standard. So it's right there. I'm tripping. I think at the time we did it was like 177. But yeah, I'm just going to ride through that. And again, depending on what the non-farms do, I'm either going to ghetto spread these or ride them out. But I do want to hold the meta for a little bit. So we will see. But Chatadonia, you watch the streams, most of it goes over my head. Where should I start? Start by asking questions while we're live. You know what I'm saying? I'm down to explain anything. But get a long term. That's the best place to start. We have a video in the description on how to set up the long term. But I'd start with getting a long term portfolio. And then once you have that foundation, it's going to be super easy to work your way into the trades. 100%. We will. Oh, yeah, I will be live early. So I got to go. I got to go, baby. But Chattadonia, thank you guys all again for being here. I hope I see you in the morning. I hope you get some great rest, man. I hope you feel like you being hugged tonight by whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like if I tell you it's me, it's going to get awkward. Maybe the Lord, I don't know. But have a blessed night, bro. Keep some positive spirits. Wake up and drive. But that is your watch list now. And shout out to the people who made it this far on the recap. If you on the recap and you made this, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you made it there. That's what I'm talking about, baby. God bless you. So thank you, my friend. But I love you. God bless all of you. Finger to the sky. But that is it. And peace out. Horn. Oh, yeah. No. I got one for you. I'll give you one more. Run it, baby. Run it, baby.
It's a letter to the people, I'm penning it like I'm Paul. It don't matter about the evil, it matter about the God. It don't matter about the weapons, it matter about how you armed. All that matters is the weather, when weather to bet the farm. I ain't gotta see it to believe it. If it's signing then it's deeded, then my eyes don't need a reason. I won't even try to explain it unless it say I got a feeling. I'm gonna sing my praise like David, but the king is still a killer. Listen up and go and get the tropes. Hope you know you ain't scared of them, they scared of you. And I know you might be scared to take that point of view. You see them arrows in my back? Yup, son, that's gonna happen too. But the harvest on the way, you gon' barter every day. That means you have to make a trade, either life or it's the grave. The result will not remain, every day will bring a change. Kinda funny and it's strange how the hope will pave the way. You hearing what I say? The only difference between you and them comes down to faith. There's a difference in the man who believes in a better day. Cause once you believe it's past, you willing to wilt away. We was never willing to be the same. We want it all in the long run, they want it all today. My father is really awesome, don't bother with giving snakes. Regardless, I can't control it, so either way, giving thanks. Yep, you could take that one to the bank. A leader without a rank, a speaker without a face, a people without a race. They eating without a taste, they scheming without a safe. The meanings have been replaced. Another time, another place, we could talk about it. Keep some oil in them lamps, don't get caught without it. Want them once, want them twice, they never talk about it. If you never get a second chance, then that ain't meant to happen. What I understand is you ain't trying to understand. Take 100 grand, then 100 undergrads. Pay them all to make a plan, but they couldn't comprehend what it means to never die, but somehow still be born again. It's a letter to the people, I'm penning it like I'm Paul. It don't matter about the evil, it matter about the God. It don't matter about the weapons, it matter about how you armed. All that matters is the weather, when weather to bet the farm. It's a call.
Alright, Chad, I'll see you in the AM, non-farms, baby. Have a wonderful evening and peace.